guys, welcome back to Cara's Cakes. Okay, so today's video is going to be a Q&A, but first I wanted to just give a little update. I haven't uploaded in 2 Sundays, and I normally upload every Sunday, and I haven't been doing anything interesting to vlog, so I took the 2 weeks off, but now I'm ready to get back at it and start uploading every Sunday. There was a few weeks there I was uploading twice a week on Sundays and Wednesdays, but I've realized that I can't keep up with that, so I've decided that 2 videos a week isn't really possible right now with my work schedule. I work full-time, and then I do cakes on the side, and then I'm trying to do YouTube once a week as well. So let's just get into the Q&A. I asked over on Instagram if you guys had any questions. So I have a bunch from Instagram, and then there's one from YouTube, I think, too. But if you do have any questions for me, leave them below this video. And while you're down there, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already. So I wrote them all down because I film on my phone and I can't scroll through Instagram right now. So the first question is from Jill_Catherine_cakes. And her question is, how do you price cakes? I'm afraid to over or undercharge. I struggled with this for a little while too because I wanted to keep my prices low so people would buy my cakes and cupcakes, but I realized that it is a lot of work and the ingredients do cost a lot of money. So I use this website. I'll see if I can get it up here. I don't know if you can see, but I use this website. It's called cookkeepbook.com, and I'll leave the link down below, and I'll put a screenshot over on the side of the actual website. So you can add different ingredients and their cost. When you do the recipe breakdown, it calculates your food cost for you. You do have to find out how many grams or how much is in a package of everything. So there is some back work behind it, but once you have all your ingredients in, then you can go ahead and do recipes. So I have all of my recipes here and the price and how much it costs to make one batch. So that'll give you an exact amount of how much it costs you to make something. You should also know how long it takes you to make something. So when I'm charging for a chocolate cake, I will charge for the ingredients, obviously, and then you have to charge for your time. So if it takes you 6 hours to make a cake from start to finish, you have to factor your time into that, because you don't want to charge $20 for a cake when you had $10 ingredients and then you've worked 6 hours. It's just not going to be worth it. So it all depends on what your time is worth. So if it's a relatively easy cake and it only takes you a few hours and the ingredients aren't that expensive, you could charge a little bit less. I definitely think I undercharge for the time that I spend on the cake, but the area that I live in, people are not willing to pay that much more for a cake. Sometimes when people see a small 6-inch round cake, it's very tall and you can get 15 slices out of it, but people think that it should be $25, and charging $25 for a 15 serving cake is not worth my time. I think I charge pretty fairly for the location that I'm living in right now. So things you have to take into consideration when you're costing out your cake is the price of ingredients, the time you spend on the cake, your skill level, and the location you live in. So I know that if I charged $100 for a 15 serving cake, I wouldn't sell any because just of the location that I'm in. Now I know some businesses out west, so in Alberta, they could charge $100 for the same cake I'm charging $60 for, and they would sell tons of them. So it does depend on many things, and I'm sorry I can't give you a direct answer. I'm not a business professional or anything, so do your own research, but take everything into consideration and don't just price cakes to sell. Make sure you take your time into consideration as well. So Sash Piera asks, what advice do you have for a young baker? So I would say to practice lots and test things out for your friends and family. If you're interested in baking still after that, I would say try all kinds of baking and find what style baking is best for you. So I'm not a huge fan of classic pastry stuff. I enjoy making cakes and cupcakes, so that's what I do on the side. I would say don't go to pastry school unless you really, really want it. I am so happy that I went and I learned a lot, but if you want to do cakes and cupcakes, then I think that is easily self-taught. I know a lot of people who are self-taught bakers with cakes and cupcakes. If you are interested in classic baking and pastry, I would say go to pastry school. If you're just looking to do it for fun, I would say go on YouTube, learn from people on YouTube. But if you are looking to make this your career, then I would look into going to pastry school. She also asks, what is the easiest frosting to work with on cakes? So I would say American buttercream, and that's what I use. I'll link my recipe up here. I made a video all about American buttercream, so go over and check that out. I would say that's the easiest buttercream to work with, and it holds up best in like a different temperature environment. It does have a lot of butter in it, but with all the icing sugar and cream in there, it holds up nicely in different environments. I would trust American buttercream on a wedding cake outside before I would trust Italian meringue buttercream, because that is much lighter, and I also like to stack my cakes up pretty high, so American buttercream works best for me. So the next question is from Cynthia, and she says, how long have you and Seamus been together? And I love your videos. Thanks so much for watching, Cynthia. Seamus and I have actually been together for almost 15 years. So this November we'll be together for 15. We've been together since grade 8, so we've been together a really long time. And we're actually getting married next year, so September of 2022. And yes, I'm making my own wedding cake. A lot of people ask that once they find out that I'm getting married. Cynthia also asked, how did you start baking? Love from Mexico. Thanks for the question, Cynthia. I started baking, I guess, when I was younger. Like, my mom and my grandmother used to bake a lot. And then in high school, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. Everyone had a plan, and I didn't really have a plan, so I decided I wanted to go to culinary school, so I did that for 2 years, and while I was there, I noticed that I liked the baking section the most. I loved making cakes and cupcakes and everything, so when I did that, I thought I'd like to go to pastry school, so I moved a few hours away and went to pastry school, and that was a 1-year program. And I finished that and did a few jobs in pastry and realized that I didn't really want to bake for big groups of people. So I ended up getting a job in healthcare, and now I work in healthcare and do cakes on the side, which I really enjoy, controlling how many orders I have and taking on orders that I want to take on. So that's how I started baking, and hopefully I'll continue baking with you guys here on YouTube. The next question asked over on Instagram was, how do you manage both jobs, leisure, as well as YouTube? And I don't think I manage very well. So I do have a full-time job, and I have a 2-week rotation. So every second week I get 5 days off, which is really nice. So I work 4 days, get 5 off, work 3 days, get 2 off. So it's just like a 2-week rotation. And I find when I have my 5 days off, I take on a lot of cakes. So sometimes I do find it hard to take any time for myself, and then when I do take time for myself, I almost feel guilty that I could have been baking or making YouTube videos, or Seamus and I both work a lot, so when we do have downtime, we don't actually go anywhere. We spend time at home and relax instead of going somewhere. But we would like to go somewhere in the future, but it's really hard right now with the couple jobs that I have, because when I'm not at the hospital, I take cake orders, and when I'm not doing cake orders, I'm doing YouTube, and when I'm not doing YouTube, I'm like cleaning the house or something. So it is hard to keep up with sometimes, but I really enjoy it, so I want to keep going. Seamus and I will get a vacation eventually. And it's not that we don't have downtime, but it's hard to take downtime when I could be picking up a weekend shift at work or taking on more cake orders. So it is tough because I do feel guilty when I have any downtime. Like yesterday, I actually took a nap, and I felt really guilty after waking up because I had a list of things that I could have been doing. There's always a list. So I figure since I'm young, I might as well stay busy while I can, and you never know what can happen. So sometimes I complain that I have so much to do, but in reality, I should be thankful for being able to wake up every day and actually be able to go to work and be able to do my second job and be able to do YouTube. So there was one question over on YouTube, and it was from Jean. And Jean says, do you get orders by word of mouth, or do you advertise in your area? So I do post on Facebook and I post on Instagram. Some people, I guess, see my pictures in Facebook for the first time and then they message me. I think a lot of it is by word of mouth though, and like repeat customers. So it is like a smaller area. There's a handful of people that make cakes in my area. When I do sell a cake to someone and they love it and they pass it on, it's always great advertisement when people love it and then they want more. So I do have a lot of repeat customers, but I'd say most people that order from me follow me on Instagram or Facebook or word of mouth. Okay guys, so that is all the questions I got on Instagram and YouTube. So if you enjoyed this video, definitely give it a big thumbs up. Scroll down to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any new videos from me. And if you have any more questions, leave them down below in the comments and I can do another one of these Q&As in the future. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good day.